Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Danger Zone. I am your host, Ken Moore. I will be joined shortly by my partner, Floyd Brooks. Tonight on the show, we're going to take a look at the NFL draft coming up on Thursday night. We'll take a look at the Tennessee Titans. Is there a danger scenario where the Titans are locked out of one of the top prospects? And then also, we'll take a look at the first round of the NBA playoffs. All of that coming up next on the Danger Zone.
You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Danger Zone. I am your host, Ken Moore. To my right is my partner, Floyd Brooks, rocking the Houston Oilers Tennessee Titans hat tonight. I'm so glad he dressed for the occasion, as we're going to be talking Tennessee Titans. We're going to be talking the top 10 potential draft picks in the NFL draft, going across the league, seeing what teams' needs are, and seeing how it all may shake out for the Tennessee Titans. So good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a blessed Sunday afternoon. My boy Floyd, what's up, my partner? How you doing? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, baby boy. What's going on with you? How's the family?
Everybody's good, man. Everybody's good.
Show you right when you know you're right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got a lot of topics to get into tonight. First of all, we want to welcome everyone to the Danger Zone. We want to ask you guys to subscribe, like the show. You can find the show, in case you're just clicking one of the links on social media, you can find the page at Danger-Zone. Make sure you put the hyphen in there, at Danger-Zone podcast on YouTube. That way you can find the show. You can share the show out to your friends and whatnot. But without further ado, my partner, we know that the Houston Texans, they traded their first round pick. So they will, unless they trade back in somehow, they will not have a pick on Thursday night. Their first pick will be on Friday. As for the Tennessee Titans, everything is on the board right now at pick number 7, as we'll pull up the draft board here just to kind of let everyone know where everything stands. Chicago Bears, obviously they have the number 1 pick. We expect them to take Caleb Williams with that pick. Washington Commanders, that pick is in flux. We expect it to be a quarterback. We don't know if it's going to be Drake May or Jaden Daniels. New England, they have turned into a wild card over the last 24 hours. We're going to touch on them shortly and how they could mess up this draft, particularly for the Tennessee Titans. You have the Arizona Cardinals at 4. They're most likely to take a wide receiver. Everyone has Marvin Harrison Jr. projected to go to the Cardinals. The LA Chargers are also another wild card right now. They have John Harbaugh. Will they go receiver? Will they go offensive tackle? Will they trade out of the pick? So that's going to be a situation there. The New York Giants, what do? They have Daniel Jones at quarterback. Do they look to trade the pick? Do they look to take a quarterback? Do they look to take a receiver like Malik Neighbors? Then you have the Tennessee Titans, who are in a position right now where they're just going to have to sit back and wait and see what happens in the 6 picks above them. Also important to note, behind the Titans, Atlanta, they just signed Kirk Cousins, so they don't need a quarterback. They may be looking defense. They may be looking at the edge rusher out of Alabama. The Bears, they may be in line for a wide receiver. Roma Dunzier could be in play there for the Bears. And then the Jets, another wild card. Of course, they have Aaron Rodgers coming back off of injury. So no telling what the Jets may do at 10. You would think they would not be looking quarterback. You hop over to number 11 and 23. And this is the team that could upset the apple cart. Minnesota Vikings with the number 11 pick. You come over to 23 where you see the Titans logo. That is now also Minnesota's pick as well. So they could package those 2 picks to move up either 5 to the Chargers, 3 to the Patriots, or even 7 to the Tennessee Titans. I know that's a lot to digest. My brother, what are your initial thoughts as we look at this draft board?
Well, it's a clear cut that the Bears are taking the USC quarterback, so we know that out the muscle. Interesting, the Commanders, I see them taking the quarterback out of LSU. He's the type of player that the NFL for years tried to avoid those dual type threats at the quarterback position. But now, if you look around the league, that's what's dominating the league. Dual threat quarterback. Now, you don't have to be a Lamar Jackson, a 1,000-yard runner of that nature there, but you do need a quarterback who can get out scripts, so to speak. So I see them picking the guy at LSU. Now, the third pick, and I want your take on this too, my brother. Me, if I'm running the New England Patriots right now, I would trade the number 3 pick. I would trade it because it's clear that they're more than just a quarterback away from even being, to me, competitive in the way that the AFC look like. I would trade it. I would trade it because someone out there truly believe that Drake May or J.J. McCarthy, for that matter, is the next great thing. So somebody's willing to give up something for that. If I'm New England Patriots, I trade. And the trade with me would probably be the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings. They has been reported as highly favorable to make a move to get J.J. McCarthy. Now, me personally, winning means everything. J.J. McCarthy has won, but I don't see that transition equal up to the number 3 pick, but that's the Minnesota Vikings. And we'll see which way they go with that. The number 4 pick to me is the one that's more like, which way do you go? Are you a Marvin Harrison Jr. player away from competing in your own division? The Arizona Cardinals in the same division with the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams, and the San Francisco 49ers. All 3 teams are capable of being playoff teams. So they have to do something to stay in the mix of that. Do they think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the answer that can get them? I think they need a lot more than Marvin Harrison Jr. I would trade out of that spot. Because they can go and, I would. Because they can go and get one of those other receivers that are highly prospects, pick up more picks, and still get you a stud at the wide receiver position. This draft is deep, Ken. It's one of the deepest wide receiver draft that I've seen in a minute. That's to be honest with you, bro. I would trade if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, and pick up picks and build your team up. the key to everything right now, Ken, is trying to hit early, so you can hit and you ain't got to pay. They don't have to pay. See, they already stuck with Kyler Murray now with that money, and I like Kyler. I'm a fan of him, but they've already paid Kyler. They've already paid him. Do you put a stud
I think since you
behind him?
paid him, you got to put a wide receiver out there so you can see what he has.
Yes.
Because they've lost all their most of their skill players they've lost right now. So I don't think they can afford to pass up a generational talent like Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, you got to find out what you have with Kyler Murray at this point. I mean, you 5-6 years into this thing, man. You gotta give him somebody on the outside that he can work with, in my opinion.
But I don't view Neighbors as Marvin Harrison Jr. I know a lot of scouts do. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. separated himself from the pack. Now, others may think different, but I think he has separated himself from the pack. But I think those guys can compete and play at a high level, just like Marvin Harrison Jr. And you can get one of those guys and a couple more picks, But again, it's hard to pass on generational talent. Now, what's interesting to me that I see, my brother, is the San Diego Chargers. If you're the GM of the San Diego Chargers, which way do you go, Ken?
Well, that is the question. That is the question, because you have John Harbaugh. You lost both of your receivers. You lost Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, free agency. So you got Justin Herbert back there. They need a lot. They need an offensive tackle. They need a wide receiver. They have the similar needs to what the Tennessee Titans have. And by the way, guys, we definitely want you guys to join the YouTube version of the show if you can. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, just click one of those toggles where you can hop over to YouTube so you can comment on the show. We definitely want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on the show. But back to the Chargers, that they hold really the key to the draft, because they can go either way. They can go Joe Alt. They can take the best left tackle. They can take whichever receiver, assuming Arizona takes a receiver. They can take whichever receiver is left, or they can trade out of the pick with Minnesota. If Minnesota doesn't trade with the Patriots, they could trade back to 11 and 23, and then they can start to rebuild, because they really need to rebuild their roster. They have a lot of holes on their team right now. They have a lot of rebuilding to do. They already have the cornerstone. So if I'm the Chargers, I would probably trade back. I would be the team. I would, if Minnesota wants to give me 11 and 23, if I'm the Chargers, I would take that deal and trade back.
I agree with you. They definitely need a receiver, though. They need a receiver. And some mock just had Marvin Harrison slipping to them with number 5, and that's a sure take there. But the receiver they drafted out of TCU, Johnston, am I right?
Yeah, last year, yes.
Right. I didn't see a lot of Chargers games last year. I did see a few, but I didn't see him making it, being that number 1 receiver, first round pick that they took last year. I didn't see those numbers this season from him. And even a few times I saw him, live myself, I didn't see that guy. Now, is that got something to do with the play calling? You had Cullen Moe calling plays, so I'm not going to put all that on play calling. I like Cullen more as an offensive coordinator. I do. So his lack of getting to that next level, say like the boy at Minnesota got out of USC, Addison, he made a leap. He made a leap. He made progression. He made plays. He was talked about. Tell me, why is it that the guy with the Chargers, with the better quarterback, I'm not gonna say that Kevin O'Connell and Cullen Moore's in the same league for a play call, because O'Connor is from the Sean McVay, Callahan, Mike Shanahan, all them, that trio over there. So I'm not going to even put their play calling skills against one another. But both of them having fairly great play callers. But the difference in success. Can you explain that to me? Why did we see maybe some of the it factor from Allison with the Vikings that we didn't see with Johnston with the Chargers?
Well, I think Minnesota has a better, obviously they have a better coach than what Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore were doing last year with the Chargers, the last couple of years with Justin Herbert. So I think in Minnesota, I mean, you can just look at the success of Kirk Cousins, and they wanted Kirk Cousins to come back, but they didn't want to commit to him the type of money that Atlanta committed to him coming off that Achilles surgery. But that is a quarterback system in Minnesota, and it really wasn't a quarterback system with the Chargers. So I think that's why a lot of people, when they talk about a J.J. McCarthy or a Michael Penix or a Bo Nix possibly going to Minnesota, those quarterbacks may be in the best position to succeed than any of the three quarterbacks that may go 1, 2, 3, because Minnesota is a much better situation. You have one of the best receivers in the league in Jefferson on the outside.
And they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you have an offensive play caller that's done a great job. So, in the head coach. So I think whoever goes to Minnesota at quarterback is going to be set up for success. As a matter of fact, now just hopping back to Washington for a moment, there was a lot of talk this week that Jaden Daniels' camp was not happy about the visit when he went to Washington. Not only did they have him, but they had about 7 or 8 other draft prospects in the building with him. His agent was not too happy about that situation. If I'm Jaden Daniels' agent, and I'm serious as I'll get out, I do not want to go to Washington with a new head coach, defensive head coach. I definitely don't want to go to New England with a defensive head coach. I'm doing everything I can this week to tank my draft status. I'm telling you, because you're going to losing
viewers on us. We're losing viewers on that one. Can't clean that one up.
No, I'm serious. I'm looking long term, right? I'm not looking short. I'm not looking the first 3 or 4 years of my career. I'm looking at my career in its entirety, because you look at people like Mac Jones, right? He went to New England. Now he's cast away as a backup. You look at a lot of quarterbacks that go to Bassett. You look at Justin Fields, went to Chicago. Now he's cast away as a backup or having to fight for a job with Russell Wilson. You go in the top 1, 2, 3, and you get into a bad situation, it stains you as a quarterback for the rest of your career. I would take that financial hit. Hey, I don't want to go 1, 2, or 3. I may tell my agent, hey, man, you know what? Let's have a conversation. You might put a video out on me of smoking a blunt. Make my draft stock drop so I can get to Minnesota at 11, because I guarantee you, if you get Jaden Daniels or Drake May to Minnesota at 11, they're going to have a much better chance for success than they will at number 2 or number 3 with Washington or New England with rookie defensive head coaches. And I know people are going to say, well, the Texans had a rookie defensive head coach. Well, yes, they did. But the Texans did a heck of a job putting a lot of stuff around CJ Stroud.
Absolutely. Absolutely right on that. Absolutely right. I would not use the Texans as an example at all, because that's one of the few. Because that don't happen very often what the Texans did this season. It don't happen very often. My brother, we talked about this last week. I can't wrap my mind around someone tanking themselves. I just can't wrap my mind around that. I can't.
Joshua,
I understand where you're coming from, though. I do. I understand where you're coming from.
I want to shout out Joshua. We will be talking Titans rumors in just a moment. I'm going to let Floyd finish his piece. Thanks for joining the show, my brother.
Thank you, my homie Joshua. Shout out to you, man. I can't wrap my head around that. But that's the purpose. It's why your ceiling is so high. It's why you're a high prospect, because you have terrible teams picking the best players that come out of college. That's how it's designed. It's not designed for you to go there and land and it's a perfect situation for you. No, it's not like that, Ken. You know, it's a reason why you can have guys to fall back to teams like the Minnesota Vikings, who, with the 11th pick, who has everything but that quarterback. You know, it doesn't have, they don't have to make a splash. One of those guys are gonna still be there when Minnesota pick 11. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I do. I mean, I don't believe in the stock that's rising to JJ McCarthy. I don't. I think the sleeper in this whole draft, it actually is two of them. I think Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix are the sleepers in this draft. I really do. I really believe that Bo Nix, 4-5 year in college, you know, I think that can help him if now he's in a position to fall in a place like the Rams, who have Stafford for maybe one more season, two, maybe. You can draft him. You know, I think Bo gonna fall all the way to the second round, though. I really think Bo is gonna fall second round. He's gonna be a good second round pick for somebody. He may get up in there like, you know, what happened with Lamar. You know, Baltimore traded back in to get the last pick in the first round and took Lamar. I think that was 2016, 17, whatever year Lamar Jackson came out. But to me, that those sleepers are Penix and Nix. The Titans. Remember, I told you about Brock Byers, and you told me I was trying to sabotage the Titans and all that stuff. I still feel the same about that. But you're right, not at the number 7 pick. Trade out of there. Just trade out of there. Trade out of there. You may not be getting the best offensive tackle in the draft, but this draft is full of good offensive linemen, more so than pass rushers this year. Do you agree?
Absolutely. No doubt.
Yes. I believe that if the Titans want to do the right thing by the organization and they really going to get the keys to Levis and see what he can do, I look at what they're doing. Ripley and Hopkins at wide receiver for the Titans are no joke. Let's be absolutely honest and real about that. They're not a joke. You know, I still believe that in a young quarterback, until he can throw sideline to sideline, he needs something in the middle of the field that will protect him. Trade the number 7 pick. Drop down 11, 4-5 picks. You can still get that offensive lineman and perhaps Brock Byers as well. It's a possibility. You don't have to take. I don't believe that the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame is a top 7 pick. He's a first, but he's not a top 10 pick. Not to me. I could be totally wrong. But I would tell you, I'm the Tennessee Titans. I come up out that 7 pick. I come up out that 7 pick and try to get someone to accommodate that with another pick in the first round as well. They can get an offensive lineman, Ken, and don't have to draft him at number 7. That's just me. I'm trying to help you, Titans. I'm trying to help y'all.
All right. So here is the worst case scenario for Tennessee. The worst case scenario. Okay. You got Bears and Commanders. They take their quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Those two guys go 1-2. All right. If New England decides to trade out with Minnesota and Minnesota goes to number 3, Minnesota's going to take a quarterback. Okay. So now you got the 3 guys that the Titans want, but you got 3 teams ahead of them. You got Arizona that would likely take Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
You got the Chargers that would likely take Joe Alt. You got the Giants who would likely take Malik Neighbors. That's your doomsday scenario for Tennessee. That's how New England could screw this whole thing up for the Titans if they're the team that makes the trade with Minnesota. Because now you're sitting at number 7. Both of the number 1 receivers are gone, and the best tackle is gone. So now what do you do at that point? Because now you don't even have a draft partner at this point, because Minnesota is the team that you really want to draft with because they have 2 number 1 picks. You really don't want to trade with the Broncos because the Broncos only have 1 number 1 pick. Now you could trade with them. You could trade back to 12, and then maybe you get their 3rd round pick. We don't have a 3rd round pick this year, and maybe you get a future number 1 pick next year. Okay. Now you could do that, but what you're doing is now you're dropping into a situation where you're taking the 2nd or 3rd best left tackle, whoever you think that is at that point, which may not be terrible, but I think of all the scenarios for Tennessee, the absolute worst scenario is if New England trades out of that pick to number 3.
Well, whoever, and I think New England should trade out number 3. But whoever is trading with the Patriots for the number 3 pick, are they trading with the Patriots to take J.J. McCarthy with the number 3 pick?
No, they trade for Drake May. No.
I don't think Minnesota would do that.
Floyd, they trading for Drake May, not for J.J. McCarthy.
Now, if they saying Drake May, I can go with that. I can go with that because I just couldn't see them trading, for J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, to me, he'll be there at the 11th pick. To me, he'll be there with the 11th pick. You got some meat. Josh is talking to us again. Talk to us, man.
Yeah, he said the Titans should trade back and get Olu Fashanu from Penn State.
Yeah.
He likes all, but he said the team desperately needs youth and talent. As far as Bowers, he said he's a great player, but a tight end in the first has been a disaster. It has been a disaster. You can't take a tight end in the first round. I saw a stat. The last 10 tight ends taken in the first round have not combined for a 1,000-yard season. None of them has had a 1,000-yard season. None of them have made a Pro Bowl.
But
the last 10 tight ends taken in the first round.
Well, I think the last one was definitely didn't work out. But I don't think it's all on him though. And that was Kyle Pitts out of Florida. Am I right?
Kyle Pitts, I think, was the last one. Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, how much of that is on him? How much of that was on Arthur Smith at the time? And I still find that strange that Arthur Smith still, doesn't know how to use a tight end as much as he likes to run. Tight end should be his next best friend because he loved to run. He loved play action, So I don't understand why that didn't work down in Atlanta, man. Again, your history says it don't pan out. But you don't think he's, Kyle Pitts is worthy of a 13, 14 pick in the draft? You don't
Brock
think
Bowers?
That? Yeah.
You mean Brock Bowers?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're somewhere in the mid first round, I mean, I guess if you need a tight end, need a tight end.
Hey, I'm just trying to help Will out, man. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to help.
Well, not for us. No, not for us.
Yeah, I'm trying to help Will out, man. I'm trying to help Will out. Will needs something in the middle, man.
No, you're right. You're right. But he'd have to. Now look, if you got 11 and 23, say if you were able to make the deal with Minnesota, and you got 11 and 23, and you were able to get your left tackle for Shanu or whoever at 11, and then Brock Bowers is there at 23, I'm cool with that. Okay. I'm cool with that.
But I think Bowers will be gone before 23, though.
And then at 23, then I'm looking at a guy like Mitchell or Worthy out of Texas.
Mitchell, I like Mitchell. I follow him. I saw a few games with Texas with him. I'm not too high on the on the 40 guy. Worthy.
I love Worthy. Worthy. He's tough.
After watching his run, setting the combine record, so I went in and Did my little research, saw a few clips, saw a few reviews, what some scouts says, and speedster he is, but he don't have the best hands. He has a lot of drops. So he definitely gonna get drafted, but you know.
Oh, he going in the first round.
Second round, I could see him, but why? Who?
I think Kansas City would take him at 32 if he's there.
And you done. By the way, Kansas City did sign Odell Beckham. Am I right? I
didn't hear that.
I saw that.
No, I say I didn't hear that. You might be right. I didn't see it.
Yeah. I saw that now. I'm hoping it wasn't fake news that I saw, but I saw that.
I'm gonna check right now. Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
News. I don't see anything about Odell going to the Kansas City, bro.
You don't see nothing?
Nope. I don't see anything. Chat, y'all got anything on Odell Beckham news? Let us know.
Might talk to us. I seen it.
See anything.
I seen it. Must not been real. I seen it. I seen Odell going on a 1-year deal. I think it was one.
Yeah. The only thing I see here, the Dolphins trying pretty hard to get Odell Beckham.
When was that? That's today or yesterday?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Oh man, that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
You mean?
Yeah, I don't see anything with Odell and the Chiefs.
Right here with you, baby. Work here with you. And see, I did see something. Again, I don't know if it was accurate or not.
Yeah, I see some Twitter stuff talking about they need to sign Odell, but no, I don't see anything about Odell going to the Chiefs. I think that would have been all over Sports Center and First Take and Undisputed and everything else. I don't think I would have missed that one. So for you guys watching the show on Twitter or Facebook, we definitely encourage you guys to hop over to the YouTube version so you can join in the chat. We definitely want you to subscribe and like the show. It is at Danger-Zone Podcast, at Danger-Zone Podcast, talking Titans draft preview, talking the top 10 potential picks in the NFL draft coming up on Thursday night. We'll also be talking NBA in the second half of the show, but we want to put the board back up here just so you guys can take a look at these picks, the draft order.
Let me ask you this, my bro. And looking at the Raiders with the 13th pick up there, is that a good place for Michael Penix to land?
It could be. They signed. Did they sign Jimmy Garoppolo? I believe.
Nah, they let him go. He was the quarterback there, remember? They signed Gurner Minshew, the backup. Minshew, yeah. Gurner Minshew. Okay. They signed him.
Okay. So they got Gardner Minshew. They could definitely go with Michael Penix. They could definitely go with Michael Penix at that number 13 pick. I think that would be a good spot for him. He gets to stay on the West Coast. He can, play behind Minshew for a year or two, or challenge him even for the number one job. Minshew did a really good job with the Colts last year. So I think that would be a good spot for Michael Penix Jr. With the Raiders. So
another team that his name came up, been mentioning it, been watching it closely through social media, other platforms that I follow, is the Seattle Seahawks. Michael Penix in Seattle, is that likely?
Well, he went to Washington, so he gets to stay close to home, at least his college home.
Mm-hmm.
They have Geno Smith, so he could play behind Geno. Now I don't
Geno
think
playing on
Geno's
that 1 year deal. Got 1
I
year
don't
left.
think I don't think Geno is in a position where he's looking to be a mentor. I think Geno's in a position where he's looking to keep his job. So that could be a situation in the quarterback room, because when you bring in a rookie, you really want him, especially in the first round, you want him to be behind a veteran, but a veteran who's not really looking to get a new contract. You're looking for veterans that are kind of looking to be placeholders, like Alex Smith was a placeholder for Patrick Mahomes, and he took that responsibility well in teaching Patrick how to be a veteran. I'm not sure that Geno's in that type of situation because he's still trying to be a starting quarterback in this league. Now, I'm not saying he would not help Michael Penix, but what I am saying is that may not be the best position for Penix to go into that quarterback role. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it make a lot of sense. But what also makes sense is you got DJ Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. You got great receivers that are all in their prime for the most part. And you have a quarterback coming in on 1 year, left with 1 year deal left on his contract, who kind of declined a little bit last season. He wasn't Geno 2 years ago that went to the playoff. He wasn't that. He didn't play like that last season. I personally think Michael Penix is a perfect fit in Seattle. Now there's a situation that you was mentioning, my brother, about where they land, where these guys land. And when you're not a Caleb Williams type of guy who's a sure number one pick, but you do have the talent to be a first round pick and a franchise quarterback. Now you have the luxury of falling down in the draft. Now you're not going to teams that necessarily need you, but can groom you. Does that make sense to you, bro?
Yeah.
He can land in Seattle and not necessarily be needed at the moment, but can be groomed for tomorrow. Not sure Geno, he finally, played up to his potential. Well, Geno was second round pick. I think he was the highest quarterback pick in that draft. He came out. It's been a while back, but I remember he came out of Virginia Tech, one of them. But and I'm happy for him. But he did decline. His play fell off last season. And one thing I've seen Michael Penix Jr. do, man, he can throw a good deep ball, can't he, man?
He does.
Woo, man, that kid, man, bro. I thought Steve Young for a lefty threw a good deep ball for a lefty until I saw Michael Penix, man. So that's a good fit. Unfortunately, all these guys that are high prospects won't get the luxury of maybe falling to a team that, again, don't necessarily need you, but will allow you to groom. Well, you will groom them. So the Caleb Williams, he walked into a much better situation in Chicago. Again, the front office in Washington, and now that I saw you elaborate on it, it kind of it gives me different thoughts. It was more than 8 people that came in that day, too. Like 20-some people they had come in all at one time, man.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I understand. You going into a job interview and you think it's just you one-on-one, and you in an auditorium with 10, 15 other people applying for interviewing for the same job at the same time.
Yeah. I feel you. I feel him on that. I wouldn't take too much into it. But again, you're looking for your one-on-one. You should sell yourself to this organization. Now you don't get a chance to sell yourself. You get a chance to sit in a room with 25, 30 other people, again, that want the same job you want. So
no. Yo, Morocco, what up, boy? That's my boy from Tennessee Coliseum, man. They show is fire, man. Y'all make sure y'all check that out. I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna get you guys on the show, man. We're gonna need you guys on the show. So, you know, in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna need y'all reaction as to what happens on Thursday night for sure, man. Thank you for hopping in, bro. Appreciate you.
So that's what I see right there, man. Anything, anybody else, I don't see, you know, the Buffalo Bills is an interesting party too right now, man, you know. And they, you know, with them picking way down with number 28, man, with so much needs, man. You know, is the Buffalo Bills run over?
Well, you called it.
Yes.
And I got to give you props.
Yes.
I got to give you props.
Yes.
You said it 2 years ago. I think you were a year early. You said it 2 years ago, but you said the run was coming to an end for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And you called it before anybody else.
Yeah.
Anybody on TV, anybody on the radio.
Yeah.
You called it, my brother, and I got to give you props for that.
Yes. And I also called the downfall of the Texans too when they blow their lead in Kansas City. I said a loss like that sets a franchise back 5-6 years, decades for some. So I believe in calling it like it is. You know, I believe in calling like it. I want all our audience to zoom in into what I have on right now. I want them to zoom in what I have on. This is a Houston Oilers throwback. Okay. Houston Oilers. Not the Tennessee Titans, not the Nashville Oilers, none of that. It's a Houston Oilers throwback. And it's about time that someone get on a platform and just call this how this is. The Houston Oilers, the history of the Houston Oilers will never, ever live in Tennessee. Will never live in Tennessee. The spirit of the Houston Oilers will always be here in Houston, Texas. It's no if, ands, or hey, Bud, love you, man. I love you, man. You drafted Earl, man. I love you, Bud. But let's be real. The Houston Oilers have no connection, no feeling whatsoever in Tennessee. None of those fans in Tennessee humbly acknowledge the Oilers. They only hold on to that because they know how it feels, what it means to us. They know that. I got to get this off my chest right now. And people, fans, friends, I'm putting my brother in the danger zone tonight. He didn't know that, y'all. He just found this out just like y'all. He's going in the danger zone because I am tired of this, man. Give us what is ours.
You know what's yours? You know what's yours?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
That's what's yours right there. That's what's yours right there, brother. That's what's yours right there. You in the danger zone.
Oh!
You in the danger zone. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. There, bro. You are in the danger zone. That's what is that?
That is us. That is who we are right now, and I love it. I love it.
Nah, you don't love it. No, you don't
I love it.
Nah, you don't love it, bro.
I love it.
That's what the kids say.
Damn it.
That's cap. That's
Damn
cap.
it, Ken.
That's
when
cap.
it's throwback day, throwback for us here in H-Town.
That's cap.
Everybody know that this is what it is. Everybody knows. We don't disregard what we have today. We don't do that. We are proud of our Texans. Yes, we are. But damn it, we want our history. We want it. And we're going to get it back. We're going to get it. Because somebody down there, some one of them atoms that still left, somebody going to realize it's time to let go. Let go.
I tell you what, bro, I'm so sorry for you. Y'all beat us last year in the uniforms. I gotta get a Texans props for that. They came to Nashville, they won the game. But as a present to you, This is what, Cal McNair and the McNairs, this is what they designed. They wanted to have that, what they call it, H-Town blue. So you got a little blue H on the side of the helmet. Look like Hightower High School. Look like Hightower High School is what it looked like. Look like a high school helmet. Now the uniforms, I'm not even mad at the uniforms. I'm really not. They a decent little throwback. I see you got the little Columbia blue in there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you tried to come for me, bro, on the show.
Well,
I can't believe you didn't think I would be prepared with this.
Now, behind the scenes, we've had this conversation many, many times. I've told you, I said, bro, I'm not really big on helmets and colors of uniform. There are some teams, we discussed this that we thought was cool, but, I refuse to put on any of those gears. I refuse to. So, when it comes to helmets and things, how this is about history here, brother. You can throw that design right there on national TV, on every post that you put. And it's great. It's great. But doggone it, Ken, I'm talking about history.
Hey, man.
You ask any young fan of the Tennessee Titans, zoom in on me. Give me this moment right here. You give me this moment right here. Give me this moment. Zoom in on me. You ask any young fan of the Tennessee Titans, and they don't know jack about Oilers. Nothing. You ask any young fan of the Texans, and they know about the Oilers. Because we teach them real history. We teach them history. Do a survey. You got friends in Tennessee that has talk shows and platforms. Do a survey. How many of them are familiar with their roots, their ancestors, where they came from, how they got there? And then do you consider it and constantly honor that? Honor your roots. Honor how you got there. See, y'all don't do that. Y'all do that to hurt us. You do it with malice in your heart when you put on those throwback jerseys, man. You do it with malice. It got to stop. It got to stop. And the people of Tennessee, after they get used to looking at this face, because y'all gonna hear this every chance I get. And y'all gonna finally say, man, can y'all give that man what he wants? What I want is our Oilers back. All rights to it, everything. I want them back. I want it back, bro. I want it back.
I tell you what, if you got about $1 billion you can give Amy Adams, you can have it back. But until then, you're gonna be wearing that on
I'm okay
Sunday
with that.
Afternoons.
I'm okay with that. I am a Houstonian on everything I do until I leave. I'm okay with that. But I had to get that off my chest, man.
That's cool. You'll sleep well tonight.
Thank you.
Because I know that's been eating at you. I know that's been eating at you for a while.
Yes.
I know that's been eating at you for a while, and you've been wanting to get it out. And so I'm glad you got it out. This guy's so sad. I think I'll go cry in my Oilers dehydrated.
That's okay. That's okay. Y'all hit the push button to subscribe and the like button and all those. Texan fans, come aboard. I need y'all.
You're outnumbered, bro. You're outnumbered on this platform right now, bro. But we love you anyway, man. We love you anyway.
Man. It's all in love, man. It's all in love.
Oh, it's all in love. It's all in love. But now I think they're gonna have the official unveiling on Tuesday.
Yes,
I believe.
Yes.
Now these were leaked to be the alternate helmets. I'm not sure about the jerseys. I'm not sure if that's a mock or just something that was on social media or whatnot. Now, The helmets are trash. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm not even being a hater. Now combined with the uniform, it's a nice look. It's an okay look. It's an okay look. I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't have the Columbia blue. I mean, that's just you can't have the Columbia blue. I mean, the Columbia blue belongs to Nashville, Tennessee. And that's no, hold on. No. You spoke. Now I'm gonna remove you from the chat, and I'm gonna remove you for a minute because I got the flow now. I got the flow now. So the reason why, for those that don't know, and Floyd knows just as well as I do, that when the Oilers left, they had a chance to stay, but the mayor at the time, Bob McNair, did not want to help flip the bill for a new stadium. That was simple. Everybody was getting new stadiums, and they wanted to keep refurbishing the Astrodome. I love the Astrodome. Grew up in the Astrodome. But him and Bud Adams couldn't work it out. And Nashville came calling. I was as hurt as anybody when that happened. I didn't want to see my team leave town. Of course, I didn't want to see them leave town. But I understood it, and that's why I still was a fan. They had a chance to keep the Houston Oilers if they would have built them a new stadium. That would have cost half as much as NRG Stadium costs. And NRG, they don't even open the freaking roof. We got us paying all these taxes for a stadium with a roof, and they won't even open the freaking roof when it's a nice day out, or if it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game and it's pretty good weather. They won't even open the freaking roof. So I don't want to hear all that crying and whining and this, that, and the third. We had a chance to keep them. We didn't keep them. They've been gone for 25 years. As soon as they left, they went to the Super Bowl. And that's that. And the Texans have been an utter disaster for the most part of the 22 years. I think they came in 2002, I believe is when they came in. And it's 2024, and they still haven't made it to an AFC championship game yet. And yes, the Kansas City game, I was rooting for you bums to win that game. I mean, yeah, because we had just beat Baltimore. It was going to be Houston and Tennessee in the AFC championship game at NRG Stadium for a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes, it was.
And y'all wet the bed in the second half against Kansas City.
Yes, it was. Man.
Y'all wet the bed.
Yes, it was, man.
So,
yes,
that is.
Okay.
That is. Chat, what y'all think about it, man? I know you upset my Tennessee Titans fans in here. Got everybody in the danger zone. Everybody's in the danger zone right now, man.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, man.
We definitely represent you purchasing Titans gear and wearing it on the show. That puts a little bit more money into the Titans, treasure chest, and may help us find, another free agent. Help us build in our new stadium. They're building a new stadium in Nashville now, so that's going to be very interesting. And we're gonna have to go for a game, man. We're gonna have to go check out the Titans and the Texans in the new stadium once it's built. You down for that?
Look at here, man. And of course I would go see the game with you, my brother. I would never turn down an opportunity like that to be on the side of you and to watch you in defeat, the agony of defeat. Why would I turn that down? Hey, when the Titans moved to Tennessee, you see, I don't even refer to them as the Oilers. When they moved to Tennessee, they got a new stadium, of course. Have they ever had a Super Bowl in Nashville? They haven't had a Super Bowl in Nashville, have they? No, they haven't had a Super Bowl in Nashville. So it's about time for them a new stadium. And hey, man, it's just time for them a new stadium. I'm okay with all that. See, my problem is not with the Titans. It's not. I don't, bro. My problem is give us what's ours, man. Give us what's ours. And until you do that there, I will nitpick and find everything wrong with your organization and expose them for what they rightfully are, perpetrators.
Floyd, you know what? You know what?
Punk, you're in the danger zone.
You're in the danger zone, boy. You're in the danger
Yes.
zone. You're in the danger zone. But let's wrap up this draft topic. Let's put a ball on that before we move over to the NBA. And guys, if you guys have any questions about the NFL draft, you got any comments that you guys would like to share, I see over 200 of you are participating on Twitter. We really need you guys on the YouTube page to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're on every Sunday night around 9:30 p.m. coming to you live from H-Town. And you know, we're going to be talking NBA. We're going to be talking NFL draft. We're going to be talking Major League Baseball. We cover all the topics, all the teams. So if you got a favorite team that you want to discuss, if you got a favorite player that you want to talk about, that you think the Titans should draft, what do you guys think the Titans should do with that number 7 pick? We definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on that. So putting a bow on this topic, how do you see the first 10 picks going? What would you do
Well,
for each of these?
well, it's again, you've done a great job setting this up for us, man, and giving us opportunity to speak on this, man. You've done a great job, this Ken, first and foremost. But it's two teams that can really turn this draft upside down. That's the Arizona Cardinals and the Minnesota Vikings. Because those teams have 2 first-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. They have 2 first-round picks. So they can shake this draft up completely, man. So my last comments on this, and then again, wrap it up, bow it up, man, tie it up real well, however you want to do it, is that they have 2 first-round picks. Are they willing, in Arizona case, are they willing to pick up more draft picks and come up out that 4th pick and build a roster? You know, again, we can't use the Texans as an example, but more draft picks give you opportunity to make moves. Can be generational moves, man. I mean, getting generational talent, making great moves, man. So the Arizona Cardinals, to me, is the key to this draft, along with the Minnesota Vikings, because again, the number 4 pick is a great place to be. They already have the 27th pick, which was ours from the beginning. So they really in a position to build their roster, man. But again, it all depends on, you know, how they view Marvin Harrison Jr. and how they view the rest of the wideouts that's in the draft, man. Watch out for the Cardinals in Minnesota, man.
If you're New England, do you take Drake May at number 3, or do you move back if Minnesota comes calling with number 11 and number 23? Again, for folks that are just joining, you see the Texans logo at 23. That's really Minnesota's pick because the Texans traded that pick to them early in free agency. So Minnesota has 11 and 23. If you're New England, what do? Do you take Drake May, or do you trade that pick?
No, you trade out. You trade out. You need too much. New England need too much, bro. You trade out. You build you some picks and you try to take the best player available as you go along. They've been pretty good on defense. They haven't been trash. Defense hasn't fell all the way off. It's always been offense with the Patriots these last 3 or 4 seasons. It's been about their offense. So trade out of there. Trade out of there. Build your roster up. Let's see how much faith Mr. Kraft have in Gerard Mayo. Let's see if he can get the job done. I'm rooting for the brother. You know I am. I'm rooting for the brother. But they got to trade out of there, man. Trade out of there. Maybe, you know, find a Bo Nix somewhere, lingering around late round somewhere. But you trade up out of there and you start building your roster.
Okay. Friendly rival said is there at 7. Titans should take him. It's that simple. He's tired of seeing quarterbacks get hurt because of our bad O-line play. I agree with that. All right, let's move down to the Chargers at number 5. John Harbaugh. You need receivers. You need offensive line. What are you doing at number 5? Everybody can't trade because there's not enough trade partners to trade.
No,
So
everybody
New
can't
England's
trade.
trading, and I don't think Arizona's trading. I think Arizona's going to sit tight. So if you're the Chargers, let's assume New England makes the trade. They already traded away Drake May. Minnesota's already got Drake May. So if you're the Chargers, what are you doing at that point?
I mean, the Chargers still need a wide out, bro. So you go. I mean, if I personally think Marvin Harrison going to be there number 5. I really think Marvin Harrison going to wind up with the Chargers. I think Arizona going to trade up out of there. I really do. But again, the Chargers, no matter who they have to pick the best wide out that's available.
So you're thinking if the if the Cardinals at 4 trade to someone, whoever hops into number 4, who is that team going to take? Is that team going to take J.J. McCarthy, or is that team going to take a quarterback?
More than like that team's taking a quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah. More than like that team's taking a quarterback.
So you're looking at probably Denver.
And again, that's with New England trading out of the 3rd pick themselves.
Right. So New England, you're saying trade with Minnesota. Yeah. So that leaves Arizona would have to trade with either Denver or the Raiders. Those are the other 2 teams that need a quarterback.
Yeah. But again, to me, and I know teams are desperate. The teams are desperate for quarterbacks. I wouldn't, but I'm believing that this is what's going to happen, though.
Okay.
This is what's going to happen. I see Marvin Harrison falling down to the Chargers. I really do.
Okay. All right. Number 6, the Giants.
And we haven't talked about the Giants at all. We just skipped all around the 6th pick. We done talked about every pick on the board but the 6th pick. Ken, I mean, for the first time in a while, man, and you know how I'm a huge fan of NFL, man. But the New York Giants, I have no idea what they're going to do, man. I have no idea on what they're going to do. Are they stuck with Daniel Jones? Are they stuck with him?
1 year. 1 year, that's it.
I don't know what they do, man. I think by that time they'll be lucky if Neighbors or Marvin Harrison is available by the 6th pick. I don't think neither one of those guys will be there. I think there's a separation with Owens.
Well, wait. Well, you said Arizona's going to trade, and whoever takes Arizona's spot is going to take a quarterback. So you got quarterbacks going 1 through 4.
Oh, Neighbors will be available. Neighbors still be available. Yeah, Neighbors still be available. Yeah, Neighbors still be available. But take him.
Okay.
I mean, the Giants defense played pretty well at time last season, Ken. The defense played well at time last season. It's clearly they have to do something offensively to get going. So Neighbors will be available. You take it. I mean, they have no other choice. Take it. You got to.
Okay. All right. So then that brings you to the Titans. So you've got 4 quarterbacks gone. You've got the 2 top receivers gone. So at that point, Joe Alt is still available at 7, or you got Brock Bowers if you want to go tight end, or you got Rome Odunze if you want to go with the 3rd wide receiver on the board. What are you doing? You're Tennessee at that spot.
If somebody wants somebody now, and I don't see any value in anyone moving up to number 7, because pretty much the 5-star players are pretty much gone by number 7 pick. Am I right? I mean, you still have some great talent left, but is they worthy of trading up for? Let's be real. The pass rush is not very, very there's not that many pass rushes in this draft here. There's not many safeties. There's not a true bona fide corner that separates himself from the draft. So everything else is now about scouting. Now, when you get this, that's the problem with the Titans, and why everybody in their mock draft got them. But some of them got the Chargers taken out of Notre Dame. But mostly everyone have Tennessee taken out, because mostly everyone else that may be needed and scouted higher than is already gone. So it's his time. It's his time. I mean, they talk about the pass rushes. The offensive line is deep too. So unless somebody's giving you a whole lot, you got to take. You take the offensive lineman now.
Okay.
But I trade if I could get what I want. If I get what I want, I trade it. But when you start looking at the top players, that people might kind of make a move. But again, that's the beauty of the draft in the NFL. It's the best draft it is, man. The NFL draft, man, because it's so unpredictable. Sometimes it goes as script, but it can also be surprising. And guys, come on, look at Mr. Vinsky. Who thought Mr. Vinsky was going number 2 in that draft? Did you?
No, that was an idiot that made that pick.
Yeah. So it's still a few of them left around, ain't it?
Oh, it's a few idiots. Oh yeah.
It's still a few of them left around, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of idiots in front offices. Absolutely.
Yeah, but as it stands, let somebody willing to give them up a whole lot for them. That they're going to take the offensive lineman out of Notre Dame, man.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. So after all of that analysis, we got Floyd with the Titans taking Joe Alt.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go through my scenario, and then we'll put a bow on it and head over to the NBA. So number 1, I got Caleb Williams. Number 2, I think that's gonna end up being Drake May. I don't know why. I just think there's some bad vibes between Daniels' camp and the Commanders. I think the Commanders are going to have to find a way to smooth that relationship over the next 72 hours. So I see Drake May going number 2 to the Commanders. At number 3, I really don't want to see Jaden Daniels go to New England. I'm hoping New England will trade. For Jaden Daniels' sake, I hope they trade the pick. For the Titans' sake, that would be the worst possible scenario. With the type of luck that the Titans have had, that's probably what will happen. The Patriots will end up trading that pick to Minnesota, get number 11, get number 23, and moving into that slot and taking Jaden Daniels.
So you got Minnesota moving 3, selecting Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
Wow. I like that. Yes. I like that.
I got Arizona taking Harrison at 4. The Chargers at that point, my fear is that they're going to take Joe Alt at number 5 because they need a left tackle, and they can probably get a receiver in the second round with their early second round pick. Then the Giants take Malik Neighbors, and that leaves the Titans in a situation where they either have to trade back or they have to take either the tackle from Penn State or the tackle from Oregon State, whichever one they have highest rated on the board. That's my fear. And
if your fear come true, and the Chargers take out, do you stay at number 7?
I don't know if you have another draft partner that's worth trading back for. It depends on what you can get from Denver at 12 or the Raiders at 13 if one of those guys want to move up to get, say, a McCarthy. But the problem is now you got New England in this scenario. New England's at 11. So Denver or the Raiders would have to jump New England, right? So they would either have to move up to 7, 8, 9, or 10.
But see. Let me see. New England. So even with the 11th pick, you still think New England will try to go at Bo Nix or somebody with the 11th pick?
I think they probably go J.J. McCarthy at that pick.
You think so? Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depends
Boy,
on what people.
Hey, shout out to my boy Ken. He on the roll tonight, y'all. He making a whole lot of sense tonight, y'all. You know what? What you cooked today, man? Tell the world what you cooked today, man.
Man, I went to the world famous Frenchies today. I went to Queen Bee's favorite spot.
I know that's right, man. I love Frenchies too, man. I love Frenchies too, man.
I went to Frenchies. I ate bad today. It's all good though.
Yeah.
It's all good. Well, hey man, we are in the danger zone. We definitely thank you guys for joining the show. We definitely want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, make sure you share the show out to your friends and family, all NFL and all sports fans. We got about 255 people watching, mostly on Twitter. So we definitely want you guys to hop over to our YouTube page. And again, it's Danger-Zone Podcast. Danger-Zone Podcast. We're going to take a 30-second break. We're going to come back with the NBA playoffs. Big game going on right now. 7 of the 8 first games are in the books. 1 game in the fourth quarter right now. And we'll take a look at that when we get back in the danger
Pelicans.
Punk, you're in the danger zone. Punk, you're in the danger zone. 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 Punk, you're in the danger zone. 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 You're in the danger zone.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. You are in the Danger Zone live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday night. I am your host, Ken Moore, joined by my partner, Floyd B. Welcome to the Danger Zone. We definitely appreciate you guys hopping into the show. We definitely want you to join and like the show on our YouTube channel at Danger-Zone. Now we're going to talk a little NBA playoffs. A lot of the games today were blowouts. One good game going on right now. All of the home teams have won so far in the first round of the playoffs. We saw Denver beat the Lakers. We saw Dallas lose to the Clippers this afternoon without Kawhi Leonard. We saw Boston in the East come up with a big win today over Miami. Cleveland won at home against Orlando. What has been your major takeaway from what you saw first game of the first round this weekend?
I think the first game I saw was Cleveland and Orlando. I like Cleveland. I think it's something missing with them though a little bit. But I like the Cavaliers. I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell fan. I don't think that the fans, media for that matter, have given the Orlando Magics enough love, shown enough love to them throughout the season, now the playoffs, man. You got to remember, man, for the last 10, 11, 12 years, the Orlando Magic was probably one of the worst teams in the NBA, along with the Sacramento Kings. And to see Sacramento didn't make it this year, but nevertheless, you know, they was competitive. I think they won 40-plus games as well. And you know, shout out to the Magic. But the only thing that only game really, I'm still picking the Sixers to win. Knicks, good win, great win, but I don't see Josh Hart, you know, being that consistent from 3-point range. And it's not how many. You know, I'm a guy of how you got the stats, how you got the numbers, and his numbers, they all were big shots, man. They were big shots, Ken.
Yes,
they were big shots, so it means something. I don't know if he's gonna have that energy level throughout the playoffs. Shout out to Joel Embiid, man. He has finally won me over, man. It took me a while to embrace Embiid, man, because remember now, his first 2 years in the league, he was also injured, you know, out foot problems and whatever else was going on with him. I still see Philly winning the series. I picked them in 5, so they still got a chance to go ahead and give me 4 in a row. I know everybody probably not like to think that, but I'm still gonna pick the Sixers to win. My biggest disappointment so far has been the Phoenix Suns, man. Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, they're playing like we're at the park. Your turn, my turn. It's like it's I don't see no continuity. I don't see no leader. And what I have been seeing is a highly overpaid NBA player in Bradley Beal.
You're in the danger zone.
Yeah, Bradley Beal in the danger zone. He's underachieved to me in his little time in Phoenix. He's been injured the last 2 seasons, if you really think about it.
Longer than that.
Yeah. He's the beneficiary of a guy that stayed on a bad team a long time and got his bag. That exactly. You know, I remember Bradley Beal coming out of Florida. He was on one of them championship teams. I don't know if he was on both of them. I know he was on one of them. When Florida won back-to-back, I think he was on one of those teams. But Bradley Beal has been a total bust in Phoenix. You know, Bradley Beal, somebody find a way to get this message to him. You're playing like garbage, bro. You're playing like garbage. You're playing like garbage. You're not a point guard. You're not an elite 2 guard. You're definitely not a 3. You can score. You can shoot. But you're not showing why they gave up Chris Paul to make this big 3. Shout out to Durant. You still doing what you're doing, bro. You putting up you're being Kevin Durant. And right now being Kevin Durant ain't working. It ain't working. It's a shame that we're gonna have to ask Kevin Durant for 45 points every night out in order for them to even have a shot at winning in Minnesota. Ken, Bradley Beal is in the danger zone, but so is the Phoenix Suns, because they're on the verge of getting swept.
I'm watching the
Y'all
end of this.
excuse me, but there is some action going on in this game.
We're watching the end of this New Orleans Oklahoma City game.
Go ahead on and look at it, brother. I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
Y'all excuse my host, man. He's caught up in the middle of this New Orleans and
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
They are right now. They're tied at 90 with 1:04 left in the first quarter. I got your back, bro.
Fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, yes. In the fourth quarter. I got your back, bro. But the Suns is in the danger zone.
Yeah, the Suns. Now, I think you were being a bit cruel You say he's playing like trash.
Yeah, man.
Like you told me last week, I think trash is a bit cruel.
Garbage. Garbage. I don't use the word trash. Garbage.
Garbage. That's a bit cruel, but I get your point. I get your point. He hasn't been in the lineup enough. He hasn't been available enough. Oh my gosh, Shea just made an unbelievable shot to give OKC the lead with 32 seconds to go and won. I think this has been the best game of the entire weekend because all of the games today were blowouts.
By far, this
all
was
of
the best
games,
game.
All of the games today were blowouts. There were a couple of good games yesterday. But yeah, Phoenix is definitely in the danger zone. I picked Minnesota to win that series. I know Phoenix dominated them. I think they beat them 3-0 in the regular season. But I think Minnesota is just a tougher team. They're a bigger team. They're a better defensive team. And the problem that Phoenix has had, and I think me and you talked about it off the air, when they traded Chris Paul, they lost a true point guard. They don't have a true point guard, and they let Cameron Payne go. So they don't have a true point guard on their roster, and you have to have someone that can facilitate and handle the ball in fourth quarters, in tight games, and they were the worst fourth quarter team in the NBA this season, and I think it's kind of showing itself, and it may play itself out where they may be going home in the first round. Now, the team that I'm going to put in a danger zone so far this weekend, and I talked about it last week, when they intentionally lost, didn't play their starters in the last 2 games of the regular season, and they had a chance to move from the 5th seed to the 4th seed, where they would have had home court advantage against the LA Clippers. But what did the Mavericks do? They rested their starters the last 2 games of the regular season, lost both of those games. So instead of being 4th, they end up 5th. And today, without Kawhi Leonard, the the LA Clippers were able to go in at home and beat the Dallas Mavericks. So for that,
you're in the danger zone.
Mavs, I told you the basketball gods does not like when you don't play to win. And the Mavs did not play to win the last 2 games of the regular season. They basically forfeited home court advantage. I don't know why you would do that. I have no idea why you would do that when you had a whole week off for your guys. From last Sunday till today. 7 days off, 6 days off. And you didn't play the last 2 games of the regular season. And you gave the Clippers home court advantage. And they came out and just smacked you from the beginning of the ball game today. And what did they win that game by today? 109-97. And I don't even know if it was that close.
I think when I looked at it, they was up by 20. So it was up by 20 when I looked at them. I'm not that hard on the Mavericks. Again, in today's NBA, I don't think home court advantage is really that significant as it has been over the years. I'm not gonna get on them. I'm not gonna put them in a danger zone for that.
Every home team has won this weekend.
Every home team has won. True. Every home team has won. But again, these series is about matchups too, my brother. And without Kawhi Leonard, well, they're still a better defensive team than the Dallas Mavericks, baby.
They are better.
Yeah, they are a better defensive team. I don't think that the home court advantage makes a big difference with this series right here. I still think it's gonna go 7. I still think the Clippers will find a way to get out the first round. Again, I understand what you're saying, but again, in today's NBA, I don't think home court advantage is that significant as it has been in the past.
I think home court is, because you talked about Josh Hart and his ability to hit those 3-point shots. Well, we all know role players play better at home because they have the confidence, they have the energy of the home crowd. It doesn't affect the superstars, right? The Kevin Durant's, the Nikola Jokic, the LeBron James, the Jason Tatums. It's not going to affect the superstar. Superstars are going to be superstars. Josh Hart may not make that shot if they're playing that game in Philadelphia. But at home, he's got the energy. For Dallas, the Clippers, James Harden made a lot of shots today that he normally chokes away on the road. So I think for certain players, it can be a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, first round James Harden, I don't worry about. I start worrying about James Harden. Right. I start worrying about James Harden when we get to second round, third round James Harden. I don't even worry about that. He really, he pretty much has a history of that first round playoff. You getting regular season. Once he get in that second round playoff, you start seeing him shrink up a little bit. But again, it was just a good defensive scheme that the Clippers put together on the Mavericks, man. They allowed them guys to play a little physical. So look at them was held under 100 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I don't know what OKC was doing on that last possession. I don't know if you guys are watching the game with us. CJ McCollum, I mean, you got to get the ball to Brandon Ingram, man. That is your best player.
Yeah.
And the ball never left CJ McCollum's hands.
Never.
Great defensive play. And I hate in the last possession of games, and this is just a pet peeve of mine, you run plays all game long. You run all kind of different sets. And when it comes down to the last play, you got guys just scoring one-on-one. You don't run no plays, no ball movement, no player movement. You just got, if I want somebody to go one-on-one, get the ball to Brandon Ingram, let him go one-on-one.
Yeah, but you also you see a lot of that down the stretch, the one-on-one because of time. Most time you ain't got a lot of time. Now, if you got time to,
14 seconds, man. You got time to run.
Yeah, you got time. You got 14 seconds. You got time to run a play. You have time to run a play. And again, I'm just very skeptical about my point guard being my best player or best shooter on the team, because you usually don't win with them. You win games, you don't win championships with them.
True.
So
True.
Again, great game. Shout out to OKC. They pulled it out. But again, that's why I was so the Knicks won yesterday with Jalen Brunson not playing a great game.
Right.
So, again, role players, matchup, moments, all that right there plays a part in that. But again, the Knicks are led by a point guard. And most time he's a smaller point. He's tough, but he's small. He ain't 6'2". He's small. He's small. So again, Cheers Alexander for OKC. He's a point guard. He's about the only one. Even Luka. Cheers is about the only one that I feel comfortable with. If I was, the game is on the line, the last shots of the game, because he got so many way more athletic. Most people would probably take Luka, but Jay Cheers, he can give me more than a jump shot. He can get to the basket for me, So again, I like OKC. I thought that New Orleans would be a tough matchup for them because they're a little more physical than OKC is, and it turned out to be just like that. Doggone shame we can't get Zion in this series, man. Doggone shame. Yeah. That's another time for another day, man. If you're the New Orleans Pelicans right now, you gonna give Zion that money?
They already gave it to him. They already paid him.
They already paid him?
Yep.
Okay then. Well,
yep.
Question over.
That's a done deal.
Yeah.
That's a done deal. So I was rooting for Philly, man. I am rooting for Philly. I don't know if they can get it done. And B just looks, man. I mean, he putting up numbers, but you can see that he doesn't have. It's really hurting him on the defensive end of the court. He can't switch out on pick and rolls. He really can't defend at the rim. You know, he's getting usually 13, 14, 15 rebounds a game. Now he's only getting 8, 9 boards a game. So I think offensively he'll be okay, but it's really on the defensive end of the court where you saw how that knee injury, because he can't move laterally, he can't jump like he normally does. I would almost be tempted to sit him out of game 2 tomorrow. I believe they play tomorrow night. And that's a quick turnaround. Let me see how this series shakes out as far as the schedule. Let's see. Yeah, they play tomorrow night, and then game 3 won't be until Thursday. So I would almost be tempted to let him sit out until Thursday and see if I can go steal a victory without him tomorrow night. Try to give him 3 or 4 days to rest that knee.
Well, with Mitchell Robinson coming back to finally give the Knicks something in the middle that you have to run into, I think the Knicks are a better team without Julius Randle. I really do. I always thought there was a better team without Julius Randle. I really do. The Sixers' problem has been the problem since they got rid of Ben Simmons. You don't have anyone beside Joel Embiid. You don't have a bulldog or another defender who can get the boards, who can be a decent defender to take the slack off of Embiid, whether he's injured or not. They never really true. You cannot win. Listen, we just put Bradley Beal in the danger zone. I just put Bradley Beal in the danger zone. But I got one more too that got to go in there too, King. And his name is Tobias Harris.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
absolutely. Absolutely.
Listen, man. This man has been paid and pampered and ignored in the NBA community on. I'm not speaking on his skills. Obviously, he's an NBA player. But for what is expected of Tobias Harris, this season in particular, he's garbage.
Now he's garbage. I agree with you.
Garbage.
I agree with you on that one, bro.
Garbage. You hear what I'm saying? Garbage. And the Sixers, it started with Doc Rivers. You know, Doc had him at the Clippers at first, remember? Doc had him with the Clippers at first.
You're in the danger zone.
And he getting paid. He got picked over Jimmy Butler. He got the bag. He got the money. He's had the opportunity to be the guy with Embiid being out so much, with Ben Simmons being out when he was there, with Ben Simmons not being an offensive threat when Embiid is off the court. Tobias Harris is another one that goes under the radar as being an overpaid underachiever, and his game is at the level of garbage right now.
I agree with you 1,000%. I watched him today or yesterday in the game, and I'm like, man, you gotta help Joel out, bro.
Gotta help
him out, man.
He got to help Maxey out. He got to help him out, man.
You play 31 minutes and you get 7 points.
31 minutes and you give me his rebounds. Give me rebounds. Give me his negative point range if you got it. If not. But did he do anything on the defensive side of the ball? I watched the game just like you. I ain't see him do nothing, but you know, I ain't see him do nothing. I watched the game too. I ain't see him do nothing. I thought he had about 6 points. You said he had 7. But trash. I mean, garbage, man. He's garbage. He don't show up. You getting the money.
He had 9 rebounds.
You know, you come on. When a beat goes down, listen. I love me some Tyrese Maxey. I do. But listen to what I'm saying. I don't know if you watched the game or how much of Maxey have you watched this season.
I watched the whole game.
I watched it. Listen to what I'm saying. Maxey has a whole lot of James Harden in him. Whole lot.
Good James Harden or bad James Harden?
James Harden. James Harden. And this is what I mean. Good James Harden, bad James Harden. He turned the ball over. Let me take that back. Scoring James Harden. James Harden. The scoring James Harden. He reminded me of the scoring James Harden. Because he'll turn that ball over. He'll turn that ball over on us, man. Can I see him turn that ball over? Of course, he's more athletic and can get to the basket, to me, a lot clearer than Harden. You know, once they changed the rules on Harden, they kind of took Harden game. Harden was no longer a superstar in this league once they changed the rules, because they kept him off the free throw line. They got Harden off the free throw line. That was the end of him being a superstar right there. That was it. But Maxey has that in, because I saw him, come down the court on back-to-back possessions. He turned the ball over. With someone that's going to have the ball in his hands 98% of the time, and Embiid got it the other 2 times. The other 2% of the time, Embiid got it. But Maxey turns the ball over. So I like the fact that they got Kyle Lowry in the backcourt with him, more stable point guard. I like that. But you have to, there's going to be times when you got to get the ball out of Maxey's hand. Shout out to Nick Nurse, man. He's done a great job with him, though, this year, man.
Yeah. Now, I definitely think if Embiid was healthy, Philadelphia would be the team to, not the team to beat, but they would definitely be, I think they would beat the Knicks if Embiid was healthy. But I think with him being compromised, I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah, with him compromised, because, again, with Mitchell Robinson back, I just think they do have somebody that can be the junkyard dog, that can do the Mario Elliott type of stuff. With Mitchell Robinson, man, he's not, anything you get from him offensively is a bonus, But without Embiid, it'll be very hard for the Knicks for the Sixers to win this series, man.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, especially not getting anything. I mean, Tyrese Maxey is gonna have to show up. He just gonna have to show up, and he's gonna have to provide some assistance. And they need 20 points out of Tyrese Maxey.
They can get that from him every night.
Not Tyrese Maxey. I'm sorry, Tobias Harris. They need 20 points a game.
Definitely, man. Just even, and that's even with Embiid on the court. We need something out of Tobias Harris. It's time for him, man, to to show that he's, that he's worthy on a championship team. He has a role on a championship team, a team that can go deep into the playoffs, man.
Yep, absolutely. Well, man, with that, we're going to get ready to wrap it up for tonight. Again, we want to thank everybody for chiming in. Had a spirited discussion on the NFL draft, on the Texans uniforms, on the NBA. So we had a good topic here tonight. So in case you joined the show late, obviously you can go back and watch the show, Danger-Zone podcast here on YouTube. We'll definitely be back with you guys next Sunday night to recap the NFL draft. We may try to do something Wednesday or Thursday, just depending on how our work schedules fall. If we're able to do anything Thursday night after the draft, give you instant reaction to what the Titans did and what happened in the first round of the NFL draft. We will definitely try to do that on Thursday night and then again on Sunday. So if you hit that notification bell, you'll get that notification when we are going live with our next YouTube show. That is it for me. Floyd, you got any closing comments before we get out of here tonight?
Appreciate seeing everybody. Appreciate the platform, and see you when I see you.
All right, guys. Well, we are out of here. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Punk, you're in the danger zone. 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 You're in the danger